What is going on, you guys? I am back at it. Give me a minute, actually. I might not be. Shit, I might not be back at it. Anywho, we are here, ladies and gentlemen, with another story time. Now, as I was gathering my notes for this video, and as I'm sitting down, you know what I'm saying? Just before I pressed record, I realized this is actually the first story time retold, because I made a video like this in the past where I was talking about my weight. I was talking about how I was heavy and it's just not where I wanted to be. And I even put like a screenshot up of like what I was doing. It was a screenshot of like my notes and goals I would set in my notes. Like, I don't know, 20 push-ups, minute plank, I don't know, just BS. But I did find that, and that video is like 2 years old. So if you want to check it out, you can of course check that out. You just gotta scroll for a little bit. That video, I don't know, it's not my best video, you know what I'm saying? It's not my most proud video, but back in those days I was trying. You feel me? So without further ado, let's just get on with it. Now for this story time, I'm gonna need to put myself back in the mindset of like the end of freshman year. And that is pretty crazy to say, you feel me, considering I'm a high school graduate at this point. And it feels like all that shit, everything, freshman year, even the weight shit, feels like all that shit happened yesterday sometimes. But I remember, guys, freshman year, I was low-key chubby, you feel me? I was like 175 freshman year, 14, I think. And, or third, you know, I don't fucking know. Anyway, I was 175 as a freshman, and my absolute highest was like 178. I don't think I ever hit 180. If I did, I guess I hit 180. I don't know. I would even go as far as saying my highest was 179, but never 180. You know what I'm saying? And that was kind of like fucked, if you ask me. I didn't like that one bit as a freshman. So I remember like the end of freshman year was like when the pandemic hit or whatever the hell, right? And I had to be, it was either this is when, I don't really know, it was either the end of freshman year or the beginning of sophomore year that all that shit first happened. And then I went to my grandmother's house because I was strictly online for school. And it was sophomore year. When I decided to really buckle down with the shit, low-key, or I thought I was buckling down anyway. So sophomore year, I'm like 180, not 180, I'm about 180 sophomore year. And I start really like going down on myself. Like I start weighing myself every day. I start being subconscious about I start being self-conscious about what I'm eating and self-conscious about my weight. And it's like I was just sitting there. Like, it was before I was becoming just more naturally active, because don't get me wrong, over time I was becoming more naturally active and I was just sort of losing weight over time. But I hadn't really realized that until later on, obviously. So I did start becoming more active, but, you know, naturally, like being outside and shit. But I remember before that, I would try to do push-ups, like at my grandmother's, you know what I mean? Like before I went to sleep, because I was self-conscious about it. I didn't want to go to sleep feeling like I didn't do shit to, you know, fix what I didn't really like about myself. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to feel like I didn't try, at least, back in that day. And so, yeah, I would try to hold the plank position. I would do push-ups. I have, I think, a past Instagram live, like on my Instagram, I think, of like an old like workout. I don't know how long it actually lasted for, but I remember I started the live just doing planks. I believe just holding the plank position. And I don't know, it was my motivation. It was a way of like, all right, we're live, let's do this shit. Like I said, I don't remember how long I was working out in the live for before I got distracted by some other shit. But I would try, right? Now that shit didn't work, right? I can tell you right away why that shit didn't work. Number one, I wasn't doing it enough. Number two, I was always weighing myself, right? I was always weighing myself and always putting it into my head like, fuck, there's no progress. I'm not seeing the numbers go down, so the shit that I'm doing isn't working. I was putting that shit into my head too much. So I honestly locked out of that. You know what I'm saying? I locked out of that at some point, and I remember I started just becoming more naturally active outside, right? I started biking more, you know what I mean? I actually, at the time back then, had a homie to bike with, and, you know, I would bike, and I would be out all fucking day, not really eating a whole lot, drinking a shit ton, but just not really eating a whole lot, but getting that exercise in, you feel me? I low-key with that, I did see the numbers go down, and it wasn't until the first time I weighed myself after all that fake workout bullshit, and after I started becoming naturally active, I was 150. So those numbers were pretty crazy to me, going from damn near 180 as a sophomore to now. I was cool with being 150. I was so chill with being 150, you guys. And at this point, we're probably a little bit later into sophomore year, right, of high school. And I was chilling at 150. I was, of course, you know, I didn't stop being active once I hit 150 or once I saw the numbers go down even slightly, because that's just, you know, who I am sometimes. You know what I mean? I mean, fuck, I don't know. I could lock into video games, or I could lock into a basketball game outside. Like, I don't fucking know. I could go either way. I don't care. And I didn't stop, you know, I kept being active, and the numbers actually kept going down, guys. And this is where it gets a little like, you know, like, eat a burger, you skinny fuck. My lowest was like 135, bro. Like 140, 135. That shit is kind of low, considering I was like 16 when I was at that lowest, probably. I don't know, maybe a little younger, I don't know. But that's when I was like, all right, now I'm not fat. That's when I knew right then and there, all right, no one was ever calling me fat before. I was just putting it into my head that I was fat or some shit, that I was a little chubby, you know what I mean? It was at that point I realized, like, yo, now I actually kind of need to eat what makes you just a little bit fat, because, like, damn, 130, 135, 140, whatever my lowest was, it was down there. Like, it was not concerning, but it's like, it was like eat a burger status, like I said. And yeah, now I'm 17, right? I haven't weighed myself in a while, but I've been at a solid like 140 every single time I weigh myself. I've been at a solid 140. Now that is still a little light. Like, I wouldn't mind being 150 and like maybe just a tad more, I don't know, fat or muscle, because I kind of am skinny. So it's like, fuck, I don't know, throw me a 10 extra pounds or some shit, you know what I mean? I try to eat, you know what I mean, what I can to gain, but I'm just too active, I feel like. I just don't eat enough. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I think that honestly wraps it up. I do think that wraps it up. You know what I mean? I didn't become a whole different person just because I started working out more or walking more or biking more or whatever the fuck. I still play video games and sit on my ass like as much as I can, but it's just not as bad as it was back then. Because back then, like, I was self-conscious about a weight, and I thought I had to do stuff to better myself, and I thought I wasn't doing good enough for myself. But then I saw the numbers go down, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't really give up, you know what I mean? I just kind of went with it and rolled with it. And I was like, you know what? The numbers are going to go down, but they're not going to go down if I just sit on my ass. You know what I mean? Because it was bad. As bad as it was back in the day, compared to now, it's nowhere near as bad. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, stay active, right? Do what you do. Do what makes you happy. Me, I like video games, but I also like going out in nature every now and then, right? Whether it's walking or biking or whatever the fuck. Just stay active. Don't be too much of a blob. Just do what makes you happy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, with that being said, that does indeed wrap it up. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.